Okay, testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. Okay, seems like everything's working out just fine. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to close my Amazon. And then we will move into here. Hello and welcome to Kasara's Casual Corner. I am Kasara. Apologies again for starting so late. It was just like everything happened at once, and I was like, okay, let me just detox. Always important is to get the detox inside there. I'm going to adjust my camera. That's much better. Okay, so if you hear lots of background noise, I get very hot in the winter time. I survive very well in 20 degrees or less. Like literally, I'm just like I'll wear coats, like I'll wear all that stuff, but all the heat is from everywhere. Everyone's got the heat turned on at full blast because no one likes the cold, except me and like the handful of people that apparently do well in it. And it's like, okay, I am just warm. Everything is so warm around me. So it's like, okay, the whole building just feels like a furnace. So I was like, I just need to calm down. So if you hear like my fan like turn up and turn down, I apologize. I'm just on fire. Okay, so we started off last week. Actually, I need to remove this too because honestly, comfort blankets are nice, but eventually you just need to take a moment. Okay, so last week we started up Kentucky Route Zero, and it went in a direction that I actually wasn't really anticipating, and we got through Acts 1 through 4, and I believe we're going to get to 5. At that point, I was already at like the 2.5 hour mark, and I was like, okay, so I moved forward, and I realized then that quite actually, very shiny. Hold on, I'm gonna do this. It was very much like, actually, we probably need to do a second round of things. So I usually do this before the stream too, but like I said, I was just running left and right. So decided apparently that we might have to do a second run starting from chapter 1. So I think that there was just like hidden elements that we didn't see because we learned about a lot of people throughout the run that we didn't know before, like Weaver and her ghost. And I know that like there was some secret that they weren't saying before about it, and I was like, okay, fine, let's see if we can come up with that. So we're going to try and get through more story, at least content, to kind of figure out what it is we just played last week and maybe make some sense of it. So let's go ahead and get this party started. I'll hit the play button and we'll go right into the second part. Kentucky Route Zero, pas de deux, perhaps, I guess. Kentucky Route Zero. I was a little nervous about this today too because I was so tired earlier that I was like, okay, what's it called? Yeah, I was just so tired earlier that I was like, am I even going to be able to do this game today? Because it was last week. This game was so intense. Not like intense, like there was a lot happening or it was super emotional. There was just a lot to unravel. And from an acting perspective, starting from Act 2 onward, it was literally straight up like objective moment, objective moment, objective moment. So from a performance standpoint, which is what my streams tend to be, it was a lot more dense of a material to pull from than, like, let's say Adventures of Chris, which is pretty straightforward comedy, you know. So let's see what happens. To be perfectly honest, I don't remember anything, so I guess we're gonna start. If I recall, we have Act 5, but we can't actually access it, right? It's stuck. We got through all of these, but this one is still open, so I'm thinking I might have to go back to limits and demonstrations. So this stream is 100%. I have no idea what's happening or if I'm even making the right choice. I just don't feel like picking up a walkthrough. I want to kind of see if I can discover something on my own. So we're going to try seeing if we do it again, what goes along with that. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, TV Station in the Flood was the last chapter. Oh, look. So this is chapter 1. We went back around. So this is chapter 1. But chapter 1, if you recall, started off with us as the antique driver Conway and his dog Blue. But now it's totally not that at all. So it looks like it was the right call to make a second run of it. So we have here limits and demonstrations. Wall text, limits and demonstrations, a Lula Chamberlain retrospective. Marking the first major public showcase of her work in over 20 years. This retrospective exhibition of work by pioneering installation artist Lula Chamberlain comprises a diagonal slice through time, place, and form. Now we know how to play. Yeah, now we know what to do when we get to the end of chapter 4 is what we know. we know we have to start it over again. How to play is still very much in question. All right, so this is the wall text. It looks like we're at an art gallery installation. The pieces on display here were individually debuted over a period of 35 years, designed in Chamberlain's various homes and studios between her beloved Mexico City and her native Elizabethtown. They represent a range, scale, and impact from the intimate warmth of Virtu Texture Fetch to the infamous Visage, the latter of which requires a vertical clearance of over 30 feet. Yet, these works share a confounding legacy. In each of their debut exhibitions, they were nearly impossible to install. Galleries and museums balked at the scale, power requirements, and highly skilled labor involved in maintaining these works for display. Some of their debuts collapsed under the weight of logistics, only to be successfully executed much later. This is actually kind of a real thing when people want to do like installation art. Sometimes they really like, I know when I was studying art and art history, the installation projects sometimes can be really problematic for a lot of artists, especially when they have grand vision art kind of scenarios versus what mid 20th century to like postmodern scenarios of like minimalism and kind of making it relatable on like a minor scale and stuff like that. So I've seen installations go all over. And so, just as they describe the outer limits of Chamberlain's range as an installation artist, the geographical edges and vertices of her itinerant home life, and the beginning and end of her distinguished career, the works on display here also trace the extremes of our capabilities and the frontiers of our patience as both viewers and exhibitors. Are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be viewed? Do we even want to be? Automatically, I am stressed because works of art like this is like, oh, make you think. I don't always like them. So that's limits and demonstrations, the wall text for this. So let's see, what else can we discover? So I believe this is Emily from chapter 4. So here's an installation here. Title card, Basement Puzzle Number 2, Artist, Sunset, and Horse, 1976, Plaster and Wire. So let's see. Emily can ask, choice 1, what do you think she means by puzzle? Choice 2, can you read the covers of these books? Emily, choice 3, solemn, sad. I never go to an exhibition and I'm just kind of like solemn, sad. It's always kind of like probably one of these two. My natural choice is, let's see. The first thing I'd probably ask is, can you read the covers of these books? Would be my natural thought. So Emily would say, can you read the cover of these books? Ben responds, yeah, it's kind of hard to. I wish we could get a little closer. It's a distance installation. I don't think they're real books, says Bob. No, they're real. Look, that one says, no, you're right. It's just scratched up cardboard. Maybe it's a puzzle? Exclamation point. I'm sorry, quotes, says Bob, but there's no right answer. That is kind of sad. Okay, so that's that one. So let's keep walking around. It looks like this whole section is one particular gallery. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Title card. Ober dubbed Nam June Paik installation in the style of Edward Packer, 1965, 1973, 1980. Magnetic tape, handheld tape playback head, speaker system, voice of the artist, computer synthesized speech. Oh, it's one of those audible installations. You know, listen and hear things. Ben says, oh, I read about this one. It's interactive. All right, question 1, how does it work? Or question 2, what's it about? Both of those very real questions I would ask. The first thing I would say is, how does it work? So Emily asks, how does it work? It's just a bunch of old tape, and you run this tape playback head along it, and just listen to the recordings, I guess. Bob says, well, let's start it out. I think you start in the middle. As Bob drags the playback head along the tape, a woman's voice issues unsteadily from the speakers. We start in the middle. Donald and Joseph are in the hallway. I am in an office. The walls are lined with filing cabinets. A few drawers hang in the open. The door is ajar, says the voice on the magnetic tape. A massive computer looms in the corner. There are some punch cards in the floor. A synthetic voice recording spliced awkwardly into tape lists out options in monotone. Computer says, to examine the cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. So now we are, apparently the installation is so interactive that we can actually maneuver the magnetic tape to do something that we want. So let's rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches to examine the cards. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Encoded in the holes. Punched through these cards is a first draft of the poetic subsystem. I can't read punch cards by sight. Donald can, I think. Anyway, this version was pretty underwhelming. Computer says, to leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Emily activates the computer. Bob moves the playback to another head of strip of tape. Oh, so loud. I love it. I am now holding 2 punch cards. On one of them, Joseph has scribbled a note, caves. The other is blank. Computer says, to insert caves card, rotate 11 degrees and advance 2 inches. To insert blank card, rotate 95 degrees and advance 14 inches. So I'm going to insert the cave card first. We're on a dirt trail in the park. Or, well, it's not really a trail. Donald, in the distance, says, it's a trail! It's a trail! It's more like a tendency. There tend to be fewer plants here on the path we've been walking. There are walking sounds. Now we're walking on the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to a mossy rock as the ground sinks into darkness. Joseph and Donald are following a rope down into the cave. They have computer equipment tied to their backs. So do I. Computer says, to enter cave, rotate 65 degrees left and advance 4 inches. Ben asks the question, That's the only choice? Because we've had multiple choices up to this point. Ben says, that's the only choice? Bob says, yeah, that's the end of that one. So 65 degrees and 4 inches. That's the last trip. So everything's down here now. Donald, from the distance, says, the final resting place. Joseph responds also in the distance, don't be so morbid. Computer says, to remember a fond gesture, rotate 180 degrees and advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches. So the choice right now is to remember something good or to regret something bad. As a personal choice for myself, as personal playthroughs go, I do not regret. So, I will remember. Oh, it's morning now. I'm in the car. I'm driving to work. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows? I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things have happened, so here's the story. When I met Donald and Joseph, they were both students, and I was in a band performing on campus. They came to my show, and then we met at some bar and had a few drinks together. Joseph wanted to impress me, so he stole a metal cocktail tumbler and gave it to me. We got kicked out, wandered drunkenly until morning, and finally ended up at a diner. And now I use the tumbler to store extra pens at my desk. So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I drive. 3 choices. Emily can say no instructions, or hey, go back a bit, maybe we missed something. Or, I guess we should stop then. So that's it for that tape, so I guess I'll pick the second one. Hey, go back a bit, maybe we missed something. Really? We've gone so far. Choices. Yes, let's go back. Is there anything else we can do? Or, I guess we should stop then. Never. I don't stop until the clock, strikes 0 or something. So, let's see. Is there anything else we can do here? No, that's the end of this strip. I don't think we ever reached this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip over there? No. I wanna do the skip back. So maybe we missed something. Can we skip back a bit? Okay, sure. So Bob moves the playback back. Let's see. So we're back at the everything's down here now. Final resting place section. Ah, here we go. So we can go back now to regrets. So let's see what we can do with regrets. Just to see what the other option is. It's late morning now. I'm sitting at my desk on my lunch break. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows? I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened, so here's a story. The first time I moved to Mexico, I stayed there for 3 years, and I had no contact with either Joseph or Donald in that whole time. They each thought I'd gone and done it to spite them. Maybe I had, in part. But I don't think they ever appreciated the community I had in Mexico, or... Anyway, when I came back, I didn't call them or visit the university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at a hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called, and I told him it hadn't occurred to me. So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I eat. So that's the hey, go back a bit. I think we'll ask no instructions. Ah, I got this. Man. Okay. Let's see. I think we go back to no instructions. So, is there no instructions? Nope, that's the end of this tape, says Bob. I don't think we ever reach this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip over? So let's do I Won't Tell a Soul, because we're not going to stop, but I do want to just kind of skip over. We did go back, but there's no go back all the way to the beginning. So Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Donald, in the distance, he says, "Think of our work, our research." Joseph, responding in the distance, "You'll die in these cold caves. And what about those men? You know they'll come back." Donald, yelling some more in the distance, "We'll go deeper, that's all. They'll never find us." Joseph yells back, "Did you hear their voices? They're not." "They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface." Lula says, "Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole darn cave." Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too, but I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down to zero. Joseph from the distance says, "You'll be lost forever." Donald says, But we need your voice for the machine, Lula. It only recognizes your voice." "I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail. Then you can see what your darn machine does with it." Ben says, "Oh." Okay, so that is that one. Whoa. There's rustling paper and indistinct voices coming from this installation. I don't know if you should think that this is a museum that big anymore. Like, it's a huge museum. The title card says, Visage, 1984, Unknown Media. Choices. What is that made of? 2, what kind of machines are those? 3, I find this profoundly moving. What do you think, Bob? I don't really find 3 very often. I don't go, "Oh my god, it's so moving." I might for certain things, but not all the time. I would go, what kind of machines are those? So Emily says, "What kind of machines are those?" "Yeah, it looks like, type terminals and an old PDP tape cabinet, I think. Or something from that period. My uncle used those to," Bob interjects with, "slice a visage to build a visage, a puzzle to its owner." Ben says, "What?" Bob says, "It's a poem I read. I think it was written by a computer." Emily's choices are, sounds like it, or I think it's lovely. I would just say sounds like it. Personal playthrough here. Sounds like it. Okay, so that is, it makes a picture of a face. It almost looked like Fear and Loathing in Vegas. Alright, we're making our way back. TV static and an electronic bell. Title card. Title card, Vertex Fetch, of Vertex Texture Fetch. Tree, television, and a suspended cathode ray tube, 1968. Found materials. I think that's the television set from the earlier in chapter 1. So, and Emily, Bob, and Ben here, 100% would say these things, but choices are, Emily says, "Bob, this seems like your kind of thing." Choice 2, the picture on the TV. Choice 3, nice plant. I would go with Bob. Bob, this seems like your kind of thing. And Bob says, oh yeah, I love this one. So domestic, but so weird. Guess I'm just really into weird domestic these days. Okay, that's that installation. Electronic drone and spinning coin sounds. Title card, spinning coin, suspended, correcting for angular motion. 1976, found materials. Let's see. Choice is 1, what a lonely image. Choice 2, it feels so strangely alive. Choice 3, to Ben, she would say, didn't you have one of these? I would probably say choice 3, though choice 2 would come in, but probably later inside a conversation. Ben, didn't you have one of these? Oh yeah, I did have an old microfilm reader like this. I got it at a garage sale. Couldn't figure out what to do with it. Bob says, that's my whole shed. Just a bunch of weird, obsolete electronics I thought I might use. I can say choice 1, at least it's not in a landfill. Or 2, someday. I am an optimistic realist. Someday. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I'll just sell them for scrap when the price of lead and plastic goes up. If the price of plastic goes up, I would be thoroughly surprised. Lead, I can absolutely see going up. Now, I guess everything gets broken down eventually, says Ben. Okay. I think we've actually gone through every installation at this point. Yep, we've made our way all around circles, so... Yep, I clicked on the wall text. Sorry. We already read this, so I'm skipping through it real quick. Yes, are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be viewed? Who knows? Okay, so I'm looking for the... here we go. Exit. Bob says, yeah, oh, Bob, sorry. Yeah, I guess I'm ready to go. Let's see. Choice 1, I'd like to get to look around a bit more. Choice 2, yeah, the show is exhausting. Or choice 3, yeah, I need to go to work anyway. Let's look around just a bit more. I want to make sure I didn't miss something. I don't think I did, but let me check again. Emily doesn't... There's no way to go back to that tape, so that's that. Okay. Let's make our way to the exit. And we'll pick choice 3. Yeah. I need to get to work anyway. Alright, here we go. Achievement unlocked, limits and demonstrations. Okay. So we finally got that crossed out. I guess we'll play... Oh, look, there's 2 dots. Oh, so these dots have to all be filled in. Oh, look at that, Pedro. Now we know. So, wait, are we playing the... Oh, we were playing all of these first. So, this dot we played first was limits and demonstrations. And then we played this dot, which was Act 1. Now we're literally playing the thing called Act 2, whereas this filled-in dot is for the entertainment. This one is for here, there, and along the echo. This one is for un pueblo de nada. And this one is for... Oh! All right, so we're playing Act 2. That caught me by surprise. See? Yeah, I know. I know. We learn. We live and learn. All right. Letters being read, and it's amongst the. We know how to find out. You're right. You are right. This letter says, Attention, Lula Chamberlain, your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for the Imagine Architecture's Annual Fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably, we can award only one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the standards we have established in our over 35 years operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, Architect, Gaston Trust for the Imagine Architecture. I actually know this grant fellowship style. It's crushing to get letters like these because unfortunately it's true. There's sometimes you're literally fighting hundreds of people for the one for that one spot. And it's terrible, you know? Can I just move this over here instead? And that way I don't have to work so hard. Yes, I can. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. The note says, Sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your obd servant, Robert. Choice 1, Lula can throw the letter in the wastebasket, or Lula can fold the letter and put it in her handbag. I would probably put it in my handbag. I'm just that kind of person that keeps it just in case for some reason. Lula can, choice 1, open a folder on her desk labeled proposals, or opens a folder of writing paper on her desk. I guess I'll open proposals. Thank you. Lula sorts through documents, all printed on fading letterhead reading Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Proposal 1, site, hospital, proposed use, auto dealership. Proposal 2, distillery, proposed use, graveyard. Proposal 3, basketball court, proposal use, kennel. Let's check out the basketball court one. Proposal 3, basketball court abandoned due to hazardous increase in stray dog population, already full of dogs. Oh. Let's do endorsed. Proposal 1, proposal 2. So let's review proposal 1, since I see we have to go through them all anyway. Phew. Hospital closed due to repeated sanitation violations. Ooh. Auto dealership sanitation requirements comparatively lax. Small operating rooms could be repurposed into offices. Large cubicle-style administrative offices could be repurposed into showrooms. Endorsed. Oh, I guess we weren't going to go through all of them. Rick clears his throat. Busy? Choice 1, Lula says, It's not important. 2, buried. Or 3, how are you, Rick? Let's do, how are you, Rick? How are you, Rick? Rick responds, I shouldn't complain, so, did you get my note? I can say, choice 1, about the office party? I'm just going stag. Or Lola 2, about the proposals? I've just finished them. I will assume Rick is asking about the proposals, because I'm that dunce. Oh, great. Okay. I'll tell Diane. I think she was rating on I don't know. Good. I think I got it right. So, how did your application go? I was in the mailroom and I saw you got a letter back. Sorry. I don't mean to pry. I just saw.
It's fine, Rick,
Says Lula.
I'm not going anywhere. How's your goldfish?
Aw. Poor Lula. I know that feeling. Act 2, Scene 1. Give me just a moment. Oh, Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Give me just a moment. I am going to let Xander out real quick so that he stops whining in my ear. So listen to the, I guess, the sound, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. All right, excellent. Here we go. Okay, so dancing. Were you like dancing to the, listening to the things here? Okay, so here's Blue, and here's Shannon. So this is be the Conway that we started with at the beginning. Okay, so let's talk to Blue first, as always. Let's see. Conway can say, "Get a good rest in the truck," or "This leg is getting kind of stiff now, Blue." Oh, Xander. Same way. I would say this one, though. Let's see. Conway can then say, "Yeah, I know you love a long drive," or "Sorry about all this walking." Oh, a long drive. I do too, usually, is choice one. And then Conway says, "The wind in your ears." Yeah, I saw you back there, Blue. I would say that one. So the full conversation that we have with Blue goes as follows. Conway says, "Get a good rest in the truck." Yeah, I know you love a drive. The wind in your ears. Yeah, I saw you back there, Blue. An actual conversation I would have with the dog. We talked to Shannon. Choice one, didn't we just pass this place? Or choice two, maybe someone here can point us in the right direction. Probably choice one. Shannon says, "I don't think the Zero operates like the roads we're used to. I don't understand it either." So, what is this place? Choice one for Conway, it looks like an office building. Choice two, it looks like a cathedral. Or choice three, what do you think? I would say it looks like an office building. There are TVs, there's a fishing pole, and more TVs. It looks like an office building. I don't know too many cathedrals that have the TVs in the main spot. Same. Yeah. An office building in a cathedral, says Shannon. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? Choice one, inside. Choice two, outside. Choice three, both. We're very surreal here, so we're in both. We're a Schrodinger, I should say. Schadenfreude. I was going to say we're a Schadenfreude. No, we're a Schrodinger. Schrodinger's people. Both, yeah, exactly. Huh. Okay. Very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. Okay, so I guess we'll look around. On this side, there's a fishing pole. There's an underground river flowing. That's the sound effect. But there's nothing really here. There is this barrier that we can go to. Shannon asks, "End of the line?" Conway says, "Seems that way, choice one." Or choice two, "Maybe it's still under construction." I mean, it is construction barrier, so maybe it's still under construction, says Conway. Well, work seems to have stopped for the moment, says Shannon. I guess we'll walk over here, maybe? Explore the plains a little bit. Wait, are we outside or inside? No, literally, I'm like, look, that's construction barrier for outside, but here's a bell. Normal. Very normal. The desk bell rings. Ah, we can talk to the receptionist. Marianne says, "Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out." Conway says, can say choice one, "We're actually a bit lost, ma'am." Or choice two, Shannon says, "Want to settle a bet." What is this bet? I'm curious. So we'll go with Shannon's choice here. Shannon asks, "Want to settle a bet?" Marianne says, "I'm actually pretty busy, but sure. What's up?" And then, "Can you be both inside or outside at the same time?" is choice 1 from Shannon. Or choice 2, Conway can say, "Oh, it's nothing, just a joke we had on the road." No, Shannon will get her say, because guess what, Conway? Ladies can have their speaks these days. Alright, so Shannon can say, "Can you be both inside and outside at the same time?" Marianne says, "Oh, wow, is that like a philosophy thing?" I said philosophy wrong. So let's try that line again and pretend like I didn't do any of that for the last 10 seconds. Okay, wow. Is that like a philosophy thing? Or are you just lost? Conway absolutely would interject here, but Shannon has a choice of saying 1, "Yeah, I guess it's a bit philosophical." Or choice 2, Conway would interject, "We're just lost." I'm going to go with Conway could interject, because I feel like that's something Conway would absolutely do. "We're just lost." Marianne says, "You're lost. So you're not the... sorry, honest mistake. We're supposed to have a little celebration here at the office, but the whiskey never showed up." I thought I saw your truck and thought, but you don't really look like one of the boys from the distillery anyway. You know, the whiskey boys that we saw in chapter 2? Conway says, choice 1, "What are you celebrating?" Choice 2, "What do the boys from the distillery look like?" Or choice 3, "What is this place?" I guess I would probably ask either 1 or 3. I guess let's do it. Let's do 3. What is this place? Well, it's clear that you're new to this territory. I expect you just to mean to be passing through. Conway would say, choice 1, "We're looking for Dogwood Drive. Do you know where that is?" And Shannon would say, choice 2, "That's the idea." Conway's still talking though. "We're looking for Dogwood Drive. Do you know where that is?" "Dogwood? Nope. You're going to need to talk to someone upstairs about that. One of the map clerks. But first, we got to get you into the system, so you'll need an appointment with one of those ingestion clerks. Now let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon, and Wanda's out on the site. Let me see. Let's go make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There are some books over there in the waiting area, so just take a look around. Have you seen our grotesques?" "I've seen the ferns." Okay, so let's look at the grotesques apparently. Okay, so there's the books. Okay, I was just curious to see what the books look like. So here's TV 1. There's white static noise. That television playing what looks like a nature documentary. A hermit crab scuttles across the beach. Its shell is an awkward shape. It must have belonged to a different crab. This television is playing a cartoon about a bird. A cartoon bird collects pieces for its nest. A scarf, a plastic shopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair. The nest is warm, but precariously fragile. Hi, old blue. This television is playing an instructional video on elevator design. It's crucial to maintain proper lighting in an elevator. In the absence of sights, passengers' sense of motion is greatly enhanced. The passenger should never feel as though they are physically ascending or descending. The elevator should create the illusion that the building is flat. This is the mark of a successful elevator design. Oddly enough, that actually is the goal for the elevator. I think I remember reading that actually somewhere, in that because we perceive things in a certain way, if we lose our sense of sight and all of our other senses have to be acclimated toward it, we start getting this sensation of motion, right? So it's actually kind of interesting that elevators kind of eliminate that. Though I've never seen someone call it the illusion that the building is flat, but ultimately that's what it is. Create the illusion of non-movement so that one does not get disoriented. It's very easy once you lose your sense of sight to suddenly be thrown off by the slightest sense of up and down. It's really cool, actually. This television is playing a closed circuit security feed of a housing project. The feed switches mechanically between locations: a hallway, a disused plot of grass, a stairwell, a mailbox. Ooh, one more TV. The television is playing a silent video of an empty theater. A microphone sits in the middle of the stage. The lights are slightly dimmed, and the speakers hum impatiently. That feels like it would be a theatrical form of John Cage's 433. I would actually kind of be interested in not seeing that at all, quite literally. I am done having the music ideology conversations about John Cage 433. But I might have it in lieu of a theater that sits books empty, just listening to the hum of the nothing. 3 books are piled on the table: a service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. Conway picks up the envelope, choice 1, or choice 2, Conway leaves the books. I'm going to pick up the envelope. The envelope reads the Bureau of Secret Tourism, which we remember reading about. It contains several small handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. Do we remember all of the phone calls we made from these extensions that we made for that? The Bureau of Secret Tourism. Oh, we had fun with those. Oh, Marianne's back. Oh, good. I thought you left. People can be so impatient. You never know. Well, I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only one in room on her plate this evening. My schedule says that she's on the 5th floor, reviewing some diagrams. The elevator is just back to the left there. 5th floor. All right, to the elevator. Yeah, right? That was a fun half hour. Don't you agree, Petra? Half hour of just listening to me read phone calls. All right, here we go. 5th floor. Tinny elevator music plays. Shannon says, she's on the 5th floor, right? Conway scans in a column of elevator buttons. We can do 5th floor, 3rd, 4th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor. The 1st floor is clerk's offices. The 2nd floor is a conference room. The 3rd floor, bears. The 4th floor, archives and records. 5th floor, diagrams and drafts. You know what we're doing. Tell me the truth, you enjoy it? That half hour was incredibly fun. It's the second time you do this in games. I agree. We're going to push all the buttons. 1st floor. Rick says, hello, are you lost? Conway says, very much so, yes. Or, we're looking for Lula Chamberlain. Oh, no, she's much too busy. Let's get some of our junior clerks to sort paperwork first so we don't Any of Mrs. Chamberlain's time, says Rick. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you'll need to get a case number assigned. Talk to Kurtz Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the room. Happy to help. Well, I guess we'll talk to Clerk Metzstein because I just wanted to get to Bears. Clerk Metzstein says, "Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I need your ingestion card list for the last 5 permanent addresses. Choice 1, ingestion card. Choice 2, I don't think I've had 5 permanent addresses." Shannon says, "Let's just skip it. Which one of you is Lula Chamberlain?" And now we'll go with Conway. "I don't think I've had 5 permanent addresses." Clark Metzstein says, "Oh, my sheet has 5 address boxes, and it says to fill everything out. Maybe if you fill out transient sub-sheet, we can still get it processed. Go talk to Chris Baum, and I'll have him set you up with one. Clerk Berm is just over there. Happy to help." Are we? What? Girl, it's not... All right, let's talk to Church Berm. Clerk Bum says, "Howdy, here for..." First off, Berm. "Howdy, here for a transient sheet? No problem." He rummages through some papers on his desk. He continues with, "Happy to help." He opens a few folders and quickly closes them. Looks like I'm out, but there are some in the back of the archive. You'll have to put a special request with First McAvellin. She's the document czar. Straight back at the end of the office there by the file cabinets. Choice 1. Okay. Choice 2, Shannon says, "This is just a runaround. Where is Lula Chamberlain?" "Oh, no, Shannon. We're doing this. We're going to take this rabbit hole all the way down to the end of it." Okay, yeah, exactly, Pedro. You know the deal. You know how this goes. Once we're in a rabbit hole, we continue with it. Clerk Macmillan says, "Documents request." Conway can say, "1 transient subsheet, please," or "This is absurd. Where's Lula?" "Nope, 1 transient subsheet, please." "Happy to help. Just please put your requisition form in the inbox and I'll get it to you as soon as possible." Conway says, "Choice 1, where's requisition form?" Or Shannon can say, "Choice 2, this is absurd. Where's Lula?" No. Conway says, "Requisition form? Yes, you don't have one. Shouldn't be a problem. They're quite easy to fill out. Just ask Clerk Metzstein and she'll get you sorted. Let's do this. Let's do the rabbit hole." Here we go. "Requisition form," says Clerk Metzstein. "No problem. I'll just need your ingestion card to mark it outgoing in my logbook." "I don't have an ingestion card yet." It's choice 1. Or Shannon says, "We're done here. Can you point us to Lula?" "I don't have an ingestion card yet." "Oh, no ingestion card. Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Bomverse and he'll set you up with one." Clerk Bomb is just over there in the corner, happy to help. We're going to see how long before this achievement unlocks, because you better believe there's got to be one. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Here we go. So Clerk Bot, we're just skipping through it, but I know there's an achievement for it, and we are going to do it. I am not going to have like they did for that one point and click game where I absolutely knew that that girl had to keep doing the blinds, and it would have achieved. Yep. So we're going to do it until the achievement pops. It will probably take like another few minutes. Here for the ingestion card, no problem. Happy to help. It looks like I'm out, but I know there's some in the back in the archive. You just have to put in a special card with Clerk Macmillan. She's in the documents czar, back at the end of the office there by the file cabinets. Okay. And Paperclip Labyrinth. Here we go. So now we got the achievement. So we're going to actually end this now, because there we go. Where's Lula will be the next one. This is absurd. Where's Lula? Lula, right there in the middle. The woman with the cardigan. She's not. She's on the 5th floor. Cheerful, tinny elevator music. All right, conference room. Hey, Drake, how are you? Up the elevator we do go. Oh, you just missed the rabbit hole achievement I just got. All right, so here we go. We're just going through. Oh, side note, Drake, I don't know if you're here, but if you look up, the next floor that we're going to touch is called Bears. It's legit. Like, it's a bear elevator. We're in the conference room. I guess people are looking at us funny. We should probably leave. Have fun, everyone. Here we go. Oh, we can go right away. Okay, here we go, Drake. Floor 3, Bears. I mean, her office is on the 1st floor, but I mean, who doesn't explore, right? We're explorers here. See, look, 3rd floor, Bears. I was literally like, I wonder if Drake will show up right as I was going to the bear elevator spot. And guess what? They're just bears. They're just a load of bears. Just watching us chill. Just bears. Looks like my kind of floor. Just chilling. Look how many bears there are. There's bears just kind of all over the place, huh? There's an organ. Huh. I wonder where that goes. Side note, I already know that I've missed achievements 100% in this game. So there's probably a 3rd playthrough. Not on stream, but I mean just like for myself. Alright. Heidi ho, bears. It was nice knowing ya. Bring on the. I'm glad I didn't use like elevator music. Shannon, are you learning nothing? We're clearly not doing anything you say. Time for the 4th floor, archives and records. We're trying to get, like, the pass so that we're allowed to be in this building. But we'll just explore. Alright, let's see. There are a lot of archives here. We have now explored. Shuffling along. Is this the paperwork floor? It sure seems like it. It's just archives. I don't even actually think it's paperwork. I just think it's the paper room. Like, this is the floor of paper. You know, this is where origamis, like, happen. Like, people come up here, they, like, we definitely have to store things in the paper room, and then, like, paper comes alive because of the weight of paper. And if you believe in the magic of words, they all turn into their origami selves. I played the game and streamed The Tale of Paper. Alright, and 5th floor. Diagrams and drafts. Alright, here we go. Record skipping. Oh. Ah. No. Give me this. Click this. Thank you. Click the record player. I beg you. Oh. Beethoven's Symphony No. 3 plays on it. I love Symphony Number 3, by the way. But it was like the reason it was awful is like I don't in my headphones all I could hear is the I can hear it, and for me I can feel in my eardrums every time the record skips, and it feels like chalk nails on chalkboard for me. So it was a lot. Whew. Saved. Enjoy Symphony Number 3 by Beethoven. As we talk to the clerk. I want this office. This office is great. This is Greg. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor, and occasionally scribbling numbers in small leather notebook. Can I help you? Don't answer that. Conway can say choice 1, are you Lula Chamberlain? Or 2, sorry, we're looking for an ingestion clerk. I'm fairly certain he would ask, are you Lula Chamberlain? No, says Greg. You just missed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk on the first floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Oh, Greg, she was. She just got a letter saying that her request for her fellowship was denied. So, I imagine, like rejection letters for fellowships are awful. Just like rejection letters for. Oh no! No! We fixed that. Oh. All right, we're leaving this office because apparently he's got one record, and it skips at the exact same spot. That was great for Abuela, but we're not in the Heights today. Oh. Sorry, the symphony was clashing with the tinny music. Oh, no, I don't want to go to this. I wanted to go to the first floor. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. We have to leave and head up the motor metropole now. What happens if I make my way all the way across the conference room? Just have these people stare at me. Interrupt the conference for no reason. Oh! What the? What is this? There's an organ guy grilling? Huh. I just clicked the button. Melancholy organ music. Here you go, Drake. This should be the music for where you are right now. But organ. It's like if Catherine liked. I'm gonna let him play out because there must be an achievement for that. I wish I could hear it. It's very loud at work right now. I guess that's true. It sounds like chords, but like imagine dun 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 dun, but like at 1/25 the speed. Oh. We have a DJ for the New Year's celebration. I'm sorry. I can play this, but it's gonna sound a little different. Oh, weak? Oh, yeah, then you really want this organ music in your head. Oh. Does your DJ grill first like this guy just did? Huh. What? It's here. I'm turning up the volume real quick, so cover your ears if you need me to. It does sound like it's coming to an end, so like it's got a beginning, middle, end, at least to me anyway. It's pretty, right? Does it sound better than the DJ? Huh. Well, that's that then. Huh. I guess that's what the bears listen to too, isn't it? Oh! Achievement unlocked! Organ performance! I got it! So there really was one. For a second, I was like, oh, I guess that was no achievement for it, but it was still very pretty. But I got it. It was an achievement. I got it. Yeah. All right, gotta head out. Good luck with the paperwork. First off, I have people to do my paperwork. Thank you very much. Actually, that's not true. I think the only person to do my paperwork is Drake. So there you go, Drake. Have fun with my paperwork. All right. Talk to you later. Have a good day. I'll see you at the next break. I did actually like that organ performance. That was quite nice. I'm not an organist. As a piano and organ are two totally different instruments, but they kind of just play the same. That's like the big deal. But like I find it fascinating, the organ as an instrument. All right, we're going to the first floor. I'm out of stress snacks. Aw, man. All right, so now we gotta talk to Lula. She should be right here.
Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me.
Conway says, I'm fine. Or 2, arthritis. Or Shannon can say, the receptionist said you could point us in the right direction. I'm gonna go with Conway, because Conway's old. And Lula looks older, so
Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it that you are trying to go?
Conway's choice 1 is we are looking for 5 Dogwood Drive, which is what we were looking for since the beginning of the whole set of streams. Or 2, we're having trouble with navigating the 0. Honestly, we're looking for Dogwood 5.
Dogwood Drive. That's funny. Do you know I used to live on a Dogwood Drive? Oh, this was years ago. A grimy old house, basement full of insects, attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. I drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. But that dogwood was a surface road with a name like that. It would have to be. What are you doing on the 0?
Conway can say, a gas station attendant told us we need to take the 0 to get there. Or Shannon can say, my cousin Weaver sent us this way. Shannon hasn't got a chance to speak for a while, so we'll let Shannon speak.
Your cousin Weaver? Weaver Marquez? Oh, I hadn't expected to hear from her again.
Shannon can be surprised. Do you know her? Choice 1. Or what does that mean? Both valid questions. Let's see. Do you know her?
Oh, she came through here as an intern. One of my old colleagues must have referred her. Do you know? I never asked. Anyway, there's not much challenging work here, much less for a gifted mathematician. She helped translate some notes on architectural plans I picked up in Mexico. She was very bored. We used to sit on the steps by the river on our lunch break and talk about geometry. I hope she wasn't in trouble. I lost touch with her so suddenly, and I had recommended she go see some friends of mine at the university about a new acoustic surveying venture.
That was the mind we met in the beginning.
I often worry she became wrapped up in some tenured professor's quixotic...
Ooh. Haven't heard that one in a while.
Some tenured professor's quixotic research project. You know the type. Gray-haired, intellectual, narcissistic. Well, that is... I guess she sent you here because she respected me, thought I could help. Weaver's a dear girl, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me.
Conway can say, but where's Dogwood Drive you lived on? Maybe it's the same one. Or Shannon can say, get over yourself. We'll let Shannon stop talking now. Conway says, but where's Dogwood Drive you used to live on? Maybe it's the same one.
No, it's not possible, says Lula. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all confusing for the computer. The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So, my Dogwood Drive is Pale Dogwood Drive, and another might be Large Leaf Dogwood Drive, or Himalayan Flowering Dogwood Drive, and so on. But one of them is just Dogwood Drive, so may hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here.
Conway can say, choice 1, do you have a record of those streets? Or choice 2, where's the computer? I would go with record.
Oh, I expect we must. They'll be up in the archives and records, 4th floor. It'll be filed under O for autonyms, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed.
All right, back to the elevator. Should have asked for the computer. All right, so we're going to the 4th floor.
Well, Drake did say, I hope we do well in our paperwork, and here we are. Darn, this place is a mess. Okay, says Shannon. Take a look through that logbook, I guess. Maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes. I'll just start digging. The small logbook has a leather cover. A few notes are scribbled on the inside covers. Most pages are just lists of titles, names, and dates. Choice 1, Conway can say, inside front cover, page 1, page 14, inside back cover, or put it away. Inside front cover. Note and logbook. Document staff. Please do not transfer any more records from the storage until we get the new file cabinets in. We're up to F, and that'll have to do for now. Instruct clerks to focus on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc. But air quality is not okay because it refers to health, safety, pollution. Okay, they have a VA level problem here. Page 1. Several documents related to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and back in over a period of a few days. Basketball courts, baseball fields, alleys, and parking lots. Page 14. A single set of documents relating to coal mining operations was checked out and back in several different people within a few hours. Inside back cover. Note and logbook. Failing antique shops folder missing. Listed checked on page 63 but not present. Alright, and we close the book. Nothing? Me either. Half of these boxes aren't even labeled, and the rest of them are the first few letters of the alphabet. I couldn't find anything with O or G or an S. Maybe the clerk knows something else we can look. Well, we tried. Time to go new age, everyone. We can ask now where the computer is. Nothing? That's unfortunate. Well, they may still be in transit. You see, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's a bit in progress. This was a cathedral not so long ago, can you believe it? And then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. Wow. That is a huge reclamation. That's where you'll find the street name records, I expect, at the church. Marianne at reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have the information analyzed. Oh, and while you're out on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman about your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of the joints and limbs, and I know he works at night. His own office is in a small neighborhood at the east edge of Bowling Green. Here's his card. Do drop in and see him. That leg is a miserable sight. Take care of each other. I'm writing it down because, man, trying to find all these street names before in the last stream, I was like, what was it? Columbus? No. Bowling. All right, and the other one was we're looking for the church. Oh, and then Marianne will give us a card. Okay, cool. So we'll go back down. Maybe he'll make him walk faster. Labe, labe, labe. All right. Ooh, what's this? This crab is wearing an empty inkjet cartridge as a shell. Oh. That is unique for a crab, it looks like. But hey, gotta get those shells from somewhere, right? This crab is wearing a dense chain of paper clips as a shell. I think someone actually made that crab some stuff. Why are there crabs in the office anyway? This crab is wearing a knife. Get what you need? Conway says, Lula said you can direct us to the church. Or Shannon would say, be straight with me. What is this place? I'm gonna ask Shannon first. Oh, just another office, lady. Just another job. Shannon can continue with, but you kicked out a congregation to set up your office? Or Conway can interject. Lula said you could direct us to the church? We'll go with Shannon. Shannon seems a little confused. Marianne says, I wasn't here for that, but yeah, I get where you're coming from. Still, I wouldn't judge till I'd seen everything. They've got a new church now. The Bureau set it up for them out of their old storage space. I'm sure it's very nice. Go see it for yourself. Just get back on the Zero and drive until you hit the Crystal, then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. Alright, let's see. Get on the Zero, Crystal, turn around. Yeah, I'm writing things down on my spare pieces of paper. Hiya, Blue. This crab is wearing a manila folder as a shell. Alright, that's a little silly. This crab is wearing a pencil cup as a shell. Oh, not the same pencil cup as the other woman, huh? Okay, going back. Getting in the truck. Let's see, they don't want to stay any longer. Oh, the road is way different. So, this is a totally different map. I'm sitting there preparing myself for what I had before, and this is not it. This is the Jaws. It looks like it. The bat wings. Mildly scary. The cactus. The lightning bolts. The sandwich. The icosahedron. The cathode ray. The bottle. The TV. The C notes. The pipe organ. The crystal. Alright, so she said make it to the crystal and then turn around. Maybe I did it wrong. The crystal. 8192. The crystal. The staircase. Oh, now we're going to something different. The projector. I think I'm lost. Ooh,
what's this button? Oh, have we had this the whole time? Wait. Have we had this notebook since the beginning of our stream sets? Wow. Wow. All right, let's go back to the crystal. Okay, so it looks like we're back on the original path. Alright, so here's the crystal. Ah, here it is. Self-storage. Interesting. Act 2, Scene 2. St. Thomas Church. Shannon says, "Is that it over there?" Conway's choices, "I don't see any congregation," or "It's dusty in here." I am, it's dusty in here. You work with antiques. You should be used to a little dust, right? Alright, let's go talk to the janitor. This is called Random Access Self-Storage Area C entry. Oh, hey, here for night mass? Choice 1, Conway says, "What kind of mass is it?" Choice 2, "Where's the congregation?" I'm going with choice 2. Where, yeah, what? What, yeah, what is exactly, yeah, huh? There's a lot of what in this section here. I guess this must look pretty strange, a church without a congregation. When they first moved in here, man, this place was packed. They had mass every night, 2 on Saturday. But it got a bit awkward to fit everyone in, and the numbers quickly dwindled. Once folks started to see it as a thing that was falling apart, they lost their center of gravity and just started wobbling, says Brandon, the janitor. Then the preacher stopped coming too, but he left his old tapes. Same with the organist. And I found some old acetates in the Bureau archives, photos with people in churches, so I keep it running. You do what you have to, right? Conway's choice, "We all have a job," or Shannon's choice, "Right now we have to find some Bureau documents." I'm going to go with Conway. He's much nicer. Yeah, work is play for the mortal stakes. That's the title of this evening's homily, in fact. So I guess if you folks aren't here for the mass, you must be looking for the Bureau records. I moved them down to Unit C315 to make room for the mass. It's down at the other end of the building. Same floor. I need to get the night mass started, but you can borrow my keys. I'll go, says Shannon. You wait here. Rest your leg. You're looking kind of pale. Nice lady. Well, I'd better get this running. Brandon presses play on an old tape machine. Record organ music is playing, but this is the organ music that we heard in the office. So Conway can just listen to the homily, or is your whole family Catholic? And talk to him. I'm going with talking. Oh, no, we're not religious. I just watched and listened while the congregation did all this stuff, and I probably don't understand much of it as you might think. Anyway, I know how to run the overhead projector and the tape player. At least I know enough to keep it going, right? He can continue listening to the homily, or how do you like working here? Oh, it's okay. I don't really know what else I would do. I used to play a lot of card games, in high school. Some of my friends went to college, but most of them just got jobs. Maybe in a few years we'll be hanging out in bars playing darts or something. You're not allowed to play cards in the bar because it looks like gambling. He can say I listen to the homily, or Conway can say my leg is killing me. Oh, I bet everyone's telling you to see a doctor. Hey, I get it. Too expensive. My dad cut his arm pretty bad on a job, but he stitched himself back up because we didn't have health insurance. But then his hand didn't work very well, and he got pretty depressed. And eventually he just sort of, well, I guess I don't know what he should have done. Who knows, right? Conway, I'm going to continue his conversation. He says, so this is like a hobby? If you ask me what my hobbies were, I'd say card games, science fiction, perspective geometry. But I run the slideshow and I play tapes, and I don't get paid for it. I take it pretty seriously, but nobody's telling me I should. Is that a hobby? It seems like there be a more serious word for it. Okay, that's it. Next are some rituals that you and I aren't allowed to participate in, I don't think. And I don't remember them anyway. Hi! I got it. Shannon's back. Conway can be like, got what? Or Conway can say, we were just talking about works and hobbies, or we were just listening to the sermon. I'm going with choice 2. We were just talking about work and hobbies. What? I found what we came here to get. The file on the street name changes, says Shannon. You don't look good. Let's head back to the bureau and get this straightened out, and then maybe we should go see that doctor the clerk recommended. All right. We'll exit. Yeah, he looks really... I think he's been limping more and more. Shannon yells, Jesus, are you all right? What the hell? Conway says, I'm okay. Or Conway says, my leg is stuck. I'm going with my leg is stuck. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to pull you out of here. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Can you put any weight on that leg? I'm going to go with it's all messed up. Because the last time we said it's okay and it's fine. This time I'm going to go with the opposite. Here. Let's get you onto the tram. Okay, there you go. Now let's see if this thing has power. Hey, old man, can you hear me? Oh my God, what happened? Said Brandon. I don't know. He collapsed. I think he blacked out. He was mumbling about the old mine for a minute. The old mine where we met. So that was memory. Conway can say, I'm okay. 2, don't let me keep you. You have work to do. Or 3, I think I need to see that doctor. I, for one, am a big proponent of see the doctor. Yes, you do. She hands Brandon the doctor's card. How do we get to this address from here? Oh, I don't know. It's going to be tricky going back and forth between the, here and there. The bureau is the only way I know, and some of these folks do it all the time. Commuters. Just go back the way you came, find the crystal, then turn around. Okay, so let's do what we did. So we go back the way we came. What is these? Oh, Z. Hey, you're looking kind of tired there, old man. Want me to take a wheel for a bit? Conway can say, yeah, maybe that's a good idea, or I'm fine. Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess that works kind of like an autopilot instead of me trying to find it. All right, we got back to the bureau. Act 2, Scene 3. The Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Let's talk to Marianne. Back so soon? Let's see. Can we talk to Clerk Lula again? Or Shannon says, we need to get to the Interstate 65. I guess we'll talk to Clerk Lula again. Oh, I'm afraid she left in a big hurry. Actually, something happened with your meeting? Shannon can say, she seemed pretty interested in my cousin Weaver, or we need to get to the Interstate 65. Now, she seemed pretty interested in my cousin Weaver. Well, I don't know who that is, but she did seem distressed. Well, heading back to the interstate. I can process you whenever you're ready to go back. Just let me know. Let's see. I guess we got a few more things to see down here, I'd say. We gotta see that doctor, right? Hold on a second. Oh my god, I cannot believe that all of these notes were here this whole time and I didn't know. Interesting. Bureau of Secret Tourism, esoteric excursions for the intrepid and curious. All directions start from the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, which is where we currently are. River tunnels. These tunnels are a series of arterials excavated by runoff from underground river which long ago evaporated, now the tangled vessel of maroon echoes. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Pause for a moment to consider the cave walls. Reverse the direction and counterclockwise drive until you hit the birdhouse. Now turn around again and you're almost upon it. To return, simply find the feather again and turn around. To the Diaximan Gallery. The Gallery of Mislaid Futures, abandoned on the lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. Drive counterclockwise toward the TV. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise toward the antenna. Now turn around again, just head past the barn. When you return to the Bureau, find the TV again and turn around. Mineral springs. These mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweet youth that pours from the cave's walls, its sweet dampness evaporating and then recollecting on the ruddy faces of rejuvenated bathers. Drive clockwise to the feather, then turn back to the talon. Turn again, and there you are. To return to the Bureau, find the feather and turn around again. Meditation tunnels. It is recommended as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which one can walk one's concerns slowly, like a breathing exercise. Drive clockwise to the scarecrow, then turn around and head counterclockwise until you reach the pendulum. Reverse once more and keep driving clockwise, and you can't miss it. To return, find the scarecrow again, turn around, and before long you're back at the Bureau. The Deep Valley. The site of an epic laceration in the very heart of the world, certainly left behind by some great power, perhaps a casualty in a battle between a god and a dinosaur. Drive counterclockwise to the bottle, turn around, drive clockwise and to the still. Turn around and you're nearly on top of it. To return, find the bottle again, turn around and head back. Happy hitchhiking. Oh, there's that number we called before, 270-301-5797. Interesting. Drive clockwise till you reach the feather. Reverse counterclockwise till you hit the birdhouse. Turn around again, you're almost upon it. So this is the Bureau. So it says... clockwise, then reverse and go counterclockwise. Okay, so clockwise is this way until you reach the feather. This is the crystal, pipe organ, staircase, projector, the bell, tree, the sprocket, the anchor, the bicycle. Ah, the feather. And then we go counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse, and then turn around again. Oh, the birdhouse. The tunnels. The tunnels are described as a series of materials excavated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated, now a tangled vessel of maroon echoes. They are surprisingly large. A distant scratching sound catches Conway's attention. From a tunnel leading downward, another tunnel runs to the darkness to the left. Let's go left. Conway and Shannon go left. The tunnel widens a bit. The air is cooler down here. They go left. A faint mewing reverberates through the tunnel. A small, ragged cat sits on the ledge carved into a wall. Seeing Conway and Shannon, it darts into another tunnel. Interesting. Well, we found it. To go back, simply find the feather again and turn around. The talon, that kind of freaked me out a little bit. The birdhouse. Okay, we'll just go this way. Ah, the feather. And turn around. I don't like it too. The talon really kind of caught me off guard, didn't it? And then we'll make our way back to the bureau. So we should be making it back to the bureau soon enough. There's the crystal and the bureau. Perfect. All right, so we're here. Let me see. Drive counterclockwise toward the TV. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise to the antenna and turn around again and head past the barn. Okay, so counterclockwise toward the TV. There's the jaws. Bat wings. Cactus. Lightning bolts. The sandwich. The icosahedron. The cathode ray. The bottle. Alright, Alright, here's the TV. Alright. Drive. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise to the antenna. Alright, so we'll turn around, drive clockwise, then turn around again, and head past the barn. Alright, now we need to find the antenna. There's the blades. The rocking chair. Alright, the antenna. And then just head past the barn. Here it is. The brochure described this place as a gallery of mislaid futures, abandoned on lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. It's a large warehouse full of oddly shaped vehicles, blimp-like, rusted vessels, mostly painted in a dull green that has now faded toward brown. No path has been carved to navigate between them. Many have been damaged through leave menacing bits of metal running through jaggedly through their small open spaces. It's all a visitor can do to stand at the edge of the building, neck craned, trying to glimpse of something. Okay, so we found that one. To return, find the TV again, and turn around. Okay, so I believe the TV was back this way. Here's the rocking chair. Okay, we'll go back the other way because we've seen it twice now. There's the barn. The H-frame. Ah, the TV. There we go, back to the 65. All right. So now I need to go clockwise. Then you pass the bell. I will say this is kind of an interesting take on like what we did for the phone, which was to listen in on all of these locations. Now we're actually traveling to find them. I find that fascinating. All right, we're back at the bureau. So the next one to find. Oh, the mineral springs, because this is the one that could probably heal, right? Youth and vigor from the pores. Drive clockwise to the feather, then come back to the talon and turn around, and there you are. So clockwise to feather, turn around to the talon, then turn around again. So clockwise to the feather. There's the pipe organ. Here's the staircase. Here's the projector. The bell. The tree. The sprocket. The anchor. The bicycle. Alright, so we found the feather. And from here, Father, come back to the Talon, turn around again, there you are. So we should find the Talon soon enough. Yeah, there's the Talon. I don't like the Talon, but there it is. We found it. And then we turn around again. And there you are, the springs. As described in the brochure, these mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweet youth from the pores of the cave walls, its sweet dampness evaporating and then recollecting on the ruddy faces of the rejuvenated bathers. The air does have warmth and fragrance that seems to relax the nostrils. Shannon encourages Conway to rest his leg in the water, so he rests a while. Conway rests for a while. The water is warmer than it looks, and strangely soothing. We can choices. Think about the day's work, think about the night stars, or leave. I'm going to think about the night stars, because I like night stars. They're very pretty. Conway leads his head back, eyes closed. It still feels like night down in the cave. Not just the darkness, but the lateness of it. Somewhere on the other side of this rock, the stars are still drifting along indifferently. He remembers some of Charlie's homework from when he went to the college. Charlie was visiting Lisette and Ira for the weekend, and he had a book about astronomy or physics or something, maybe math. Watching the relative speeds at which different stars pan across the sky and using it to determine their distance. Leaving the spring, Conway finds a few small aquatic insects nestled in his pant leg. He leaves them behind. Okay, so we went to the youthful vigor place. Though really we should be going to a doctor, but we're here now. Find the feather and turn around again. So in order to find the feather, we have to go back to the Talon. Okay, did I miss the feather? We'll go this way instead. There's the nest. Ah, we found the feather. And back to the 65. And now we'll just make our way back to the bureau. And I think we have only, what, one more to find? Back at the bureau. Okay. So now... Alright, let's see. So we did Mineral Springs. Oh, there's two more.
Okay, so there's the meditation tunnel. So drive clockwise to the scarecrow, then turn around and head clockwise till you reach the pendulum, reverse again once more, and keep driving clockwise. You can't miss it. Okay, so clockwise to the scarecrow. Here we go. Clockwise to the scarecrow. I know we've seen the scarecrow. This is a tree. The sprocket, the anchor, the bicycle, the feather, the wheelbarrow, the antlers, a scarecrow. Scarecrow, here we go. Scarecrow. Alright, and we turn around. And then we drive counterclockwise until you reach the pendulum. Then reverse direction again and keep driving clockwise. Alright. So we're looking for the pendulum. There's the rowboat. Oop. Deja vu, what's that? An engine reverberates. What do we find? What is this? Shannon says, that's odd. And Conway says, what? Or, let's keep moving. I'm going to say what, because I'm curious. Shannon says, just, you know, deja vu. Conway can say, just team here. It's just weird, this weird road. Or, let's keep moving. I'd probably same here, because sure, why not? I always feel kind of embarrassed when that happens. Like I'm in a play, but I don't know my lines. Oh well. Okay. She's having a sense of deja vu, apparently. What's that? We're driving on a road. Huh. Well, I'm looking for the pendulum. It looked like there was a tunnel inside that. Oh, so we found the pendulum. Next to that road that she was just on. Reverse direction once more and keep driving clockwise. There's animal bones. The tunnels! We found it! The brochure for these mossy tunnels recommends taking them as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which to walk one's concerns slowly like a breathing exercise. A narrow tunnel extends to the right and another to the left. Let's take the right tunnel. Conway and Shannon go right. Conway and Shannon crawl on hands and knees through a slick passageway. The moss is growing more brightly now. A narrow tunnel extends to the right and another to the left. We go right the whole time. I guess we'll go left. Because we're in the same spot. Conway and Shannon step out to a large open room. The glow of moss is almost blinding. I guess close eyes. Because it's blinding. Huh. Alright, to get back. Find the scarecrow again.
Turn around, and before long, we'll be back at the bureau. Okay, I guess we'll keep going this way then. We found the casket. Ah, we found the scarecrow. Back on the 65. Yay! Okay, so now we're gonna make our way back to the bureau, and we'll go on the last one. What's cool is I don't actually have to move my mouse. I just keep. I realized like the hand was moving on in my behalf, so I just sit here and I hold the mouse and I just watch this road get driven. It's a little crazy, just kind of sitting here, kind of introspecting a little bit. Not like philosophically, I just mean like just kind of out of body experiencing this whole thing. Alright, we're back at the bureau. Alright, we have one more location to visit. Again, I don't even know if this is actually like an achievement to do it, but it's just kind of like I have this brochure and they're giving me actual directions to places, so why not? Drive counterclockwise to the bottle, then turn around and turn to the still. Alright, so whoop, I messed it up. Hold on. Counterclockwise to the bottle. Which is this way. Jaws. Bat wings. Look at this. Ah, we found the bottle. Alright, we're going to turn around. And then we're going to go, I believe it said clockwise, but just in case. Clockwise to the still, then turn around again. Oh, we found the still. And then we turn around. And we found the valley. The brochure calls an epic laceration to the very heart of the world, certainly left by some great power, perhaps a casualty in a battle between God and dinosaur. It's more of a rocky valley separating road from a sheer cliff face. It's difficult to see how deep it runs as the rock slopes into shadow, but a few dozen lanterns strung across that interval suggest its scale. Larger than a basketball court, but smaller than a financial district. So like a huge, massive scale. Alright, now we just need to find our way back to the bureau. To find our way back again, find the bottle and turn around and head back. So since we're going this way... Alright, and now we'll make our way back to the bureau. That was our 100% pointless side quest. I really should have ordered that shirt that said I'm just doing side quests. Or I'm not procrastinating, I'm doing side quests. Okay. And with that, we've made it back. Happy hitchhiking. Alright, we actually discovered all the places on that particular place, so that's cool. Okay. So what are we looking for again? Oh, the doctor. Oh wait, we can't go to the doctor. The doctor has no idea how to get there. She just said on Bowling Drive, but there's no bowling here unless I've seen the bowling something. Act 2, Scene 4. The Bureau reclaims spaces. Let's go talk to Mary Ann real quick. It says, I can process you whenever you're ready to go back. Just tell me what to do. Alright, so I think we're ready to go back. Shannon hands the receptionist Lula's card and says, can you tell us how to get to this address? We're looking for Dr. Truman. Oh, of course. This is the neighborhood just outside Bowling Green. Get on the 65 going southwest. Take just past the observatory, just before the river. If you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Happy to help. Alright, so now we should be back on the original map. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're back on the 65, which is this one. Wait a second. Oh, Marcus' house. The farmhouse is silent and empty, and the barn is still gone. So is the cave. A few horses graze in the empty field. Alright, so we're going to go southwest. Eckes Oils. Joseph has fallen asleep in his chair. That's the first place we stopped at. Alright, so now this is the observatory. I imagine that's river. Dr. Truman's house? The neighborhood at the address on Lula's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum still partially under construction. I guess we'll go inside. Act 2, Scene 5. Museum of Dwellings. First, of course, we talk to Blue. Muffled thunderstorm and water dripping from the roof. Apparently, roofs are not doing very well in this world. Let's see. I mean, Thomas and the museum said, oh, yeah, he was talking to his dog. This guy was a weirdo. Museum staff choices. What did he say? Or, that doesn't seem weird. That doesn't. I talk to my dog all the time. Thomas says, you didn't see the guy. Tall, kind of stooped over, limping real bad, like an old drunk if you ask me. I bet they were both drunks, breaking in here and looking for a place to sleep it off. I just feel bad for that old dog getting dragged all over by a couple of drunks. Old dog like that should be sleeping on a porch somewhere. But that's loyalty for ya. Well, they didn't stay long anyway. Tape recorder stops playing. Fred says, I just assumed they were from the power company. You know how they're always coming by unannounced and messing up this or that? I just shut myself up in my room and waited to get out. No sense in getting involved. Museum staff choices. How did they get in? Or they definitely weren't from the power company. How did they get in? It must have been one of the kids that left the front door unlocked. Something's got to be done. They run around like animals. You know what? You know that Flora left a can on top of the shelter door and almost killed myself slipping on that sticky mess the next morning? Something's gotta be done. These are all recordings, by the way. Tape recorder stops playing.
Flora says, I heard the man and lady talking when they first came in, but they didn't see me.
Museum staff choices. What were they doing up that late? Or what are they talking about? What were they talking about?
The man said his leg was hurting him, and they were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. But they didn't know, so they kept looking around.
I guess we'll look around. Oh, that's the front door. Can we go this way? What is this? James on the recording says, they must have gone through some papers in there. It was in some disarray and a few folders were pulled out and left on the table. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I only noticed because Diane is such a stickler. She's real organized, I mean. Museum staff choices. What were they looking at? Or was anything missing? What were they looking at? Mostly stuff about the building site, I guess. They had a list of all the homes we relocated here, a list of original residences before we leveled the neighborhood. I guess they were looking for one of the old residents. They pulled out a list of folks who didn't take the offer, folks who moved elsewhere, but they filed that back out of order, so I guess they didn't find what they were looking for there. Hey, while I have you here, work's kind of slowed down a bit, and it seems like, I know you folks know what you're doing, but it seems like the residents are kind of just settling in. Museum staff, that's the idea, or museum staff, we'll get our boys to work soon. That's the idea, says the museum staff. Yeah, says James, I get that. Just, how about that roof, huh? You just write us a check and we'll finish it right up. I know you've got this museum thing going on, but you don't want to be slumlords now. I know, it's so weird. Like, so apparently, like, they went and, like, uprooted neighborhoods that were demolished or something and then relocated them all here. The right word is weird. The right word is so very, very much weird. Thomas says, yeah, they came by and knocked on the window. We had a bit of a talk through the glass. I would have come out, but you know, shady characters. 3 choices. What did you talk about? Did they seem suspicious? Did you see them poking around anywhere else? Let's see. Did you see them poking around anywhere else? Oh, sure. They were into everything. Walking around, looking at stuff, talking to people, talking to each other. I guess that's what it's going to be like now, living here. So we're just going around talking to people's, like, that's just been moved here. Oh, this is so bonkers. What is this? And they relocate it and call it a museum of lost homes or relocated housing or something. Fred says, I heard them banging out there and I just stayed quiet. I don't know what they wanted. I just put my headphones on and tried to ignore them, to tell you the truth. Alright, we tried talking to that guy.
Do you know, at first I thought it might be Hudson walking up to visit. I heard him working on his boat just a bit earlier before the storm started. But then I saw the stranger's limping gait and the young woman with him, and I knew it couldn't be. I invited them for a glass of bourbon, which they politely declined, so I just talked to them on the front porch for a bit.
Museum staff, what did you talk about?
Oh, we talked about the neighborhood. I told them about the Hudson and his sailboat and the nice couple in the greenhouse and the charming Dr. Truman who used to live here. And they were very interested in him, of course, but Well, I don't know where he went. Do you know, I don't believe either of them set foot on a houseboat before. I don't know that the older man's ever seen an ocean, in fact. It has always been my fondest dream to retire in a houseboat. That's why I accepted your offer to move in here. Isn't this perfect? But what home never is. I only wish the house would sway a bit. I find that it settles my nerves. Well, if we have another storm like the last one. You remember the last one that apparently I have an umbrella. Okay. I can go up, apparently. So we'll come back to that. I want to see if I can investigate anything else real quick. What on earth? Walker says, sure, I talked to them for a bit. Actually, talked for quite a while. I wasn't busy. I was happy for the company. Can't sleep in a storm like that. Never could. Let's see. Museum staff. Did you see how they got in? What did you talk about? Why can't you sleep in a storm? They don't care. Did you see how they got in? They came right through the front door. It wasn't locked. Your security here is kinda crappy. I wasn't gonna say, but what did you talk about? I told him to put his umbrella away. I got great shelter right here. I had a bottle in my coat. I could see the guy looking at it, and his leg was hurt pretty bad, so I offered him some. He got real awkward about it. I bet he's a program. Anyway, they were asking about Dr. Truman. I remember him. He was here for a bit, and then he left. So that's what I told them. We ought to get some real chickens in that coop. Doing some homesteading. None of these folks know how to live off the land, you know what I mean? Let's see, it's just a display, another kind of dwelling? Sure, we'll look into it. Oh, this museum is kooky. The same storm from the TV station. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh yeah. It's gotta be, right? Everything else seems to be connected. Flora says, I think you ought to get some real horses in that stable. Museum staff, do you like horses? Did the strangers go into the stable? No, they just poked around a bit and talked about barns. They were pretty boring. Hey, Blue, we got a place for you. Look. Thomas says, that dog was in nearly as bad shape as the old man, just sort of shrugging along. They found some treats in the doghouse exhibit. That seemed to cheer them up a bit. Okay. Guess we'll keep walking over here and see what we come up with. I guess we won't keep walking over there and see what we come up with. Okay, what do we got here? Flora says, I was playing in that empty cabin when they came by. They asked about Dr. Truman. I know where he went, but I didn't tell them. Museum staff, where did Dr. Truman go? It's a secret. Urza told me, and I can't tell anyone else. What does the stranger say? The lady asked me about my parents, and I told them they were upstairs in the greenhouse. Do you want to hear a weird story? Of course I do, says the museum staff. The old man asked me about the cabin. He said it looked like another house he knew, and he wanted to know where it came from. I told him nobody lived here, so he went inside. He took a long time exploring, and when he came out, he told me all about it. Where was the other house he knew, or what did he find in the cabin? He went upstairs, and he also looked in all the other rooms. I played with the dog. Let's see, what did he do upstairs? What would he do in the kitchen? What was the dog like? I said, what did he do upstairs? He looked in some boxes. He looked out the window. He could see the museum better than when he was downstairs. He could tell it was all put together. And the cabin, too. He could see the shape of it better up there. Now, That part is weird. He said he went into the basement. That cabin doesn't have a basement. Choice 1. He said he found a staircase in the closet. He found a secret door in the floor, or he dug through the ground to get there. Unlikely for the last one. So let's do the staircase. So he found a staircase in the closet. Then the next choice is he found a rope leading down a long pit and climbed down. He was surrounded by giant aphids. I'm going to be grossed out by that, so no. It was long, so his arms got very tired and he fell in the dark. The walls were covered in glowing moss. Interesting. He didn't get hurt though. He hurt his other leg. He couldn't walk at all. He didn't get hurt though. He crawled through a tunnel where he found a hidden garden, but he was surrounded by giant aphids. I refuse to be surrounded by giant aphids. So the story goes as follows. He said he found a giant staircase in the closet. Then he found a rope leading down a long pit and he climbed down. It was so long his arms got very tired and he fell in the dark. He didn't get hurt though. He crawled through a tunnel where he found a hidden garden. The garden was very beautiful. He felt so calm he fell asleep. He found a tunnel or he leading up backstairs. I was like, he found a tunnel leading back upstairs. Then he came out of the cabin, we said goodbye, and I didn't talk to them anymore. What does 7331 means? So 1337 is in is leet, is like L-E-E-T when you translate it into words or into letters. L-E-E-T, so leet, like elite. I just reversed it, so it's just leet but backwards. If that makes sense. So kind of like a little kooky, but definitely like pristine condition, or a little kooky, but still worth still a good show kind of scenario. If that makes sense. Welcome to the joke that no one will get. Oh, we can't go that way. And then we're back at the front. Okay, so now we've looked at all of the places. So now let's go back to... Yeah, it's not like anything spectacular. It was just something I was thinking about. I was like, what would it be if it was like lead, but actually backwards and kooky and weird? I thought about changing it to like what my name actually is, but I was like, no, it's there. Alright, we're gonna go up whatever this thing is. Or we're just gonna... Oh, right, we gotta wait for blue. Oh look, an intense thunderstorm. I guess we'll go over here first. That is a big bird flying in the back there. So this one says, George said, we were working in the greenhouse and I saw them come up the elevator. They were lost, obviously. It was obvious, says Annie.
Alright, we'll keep going this way. This place says,
Ivy says, oh, of course. I saw them looking at that odd-shaped building.
Did they go inside?
No, they just looked at it for a bit. I don't know that I feel safe being put in there personally. It always looks like it's about to take off. Actually, I guess it's sort of romantic. Anyway, they seemed interested in it, tired, huddling under their umbrellas. They stopped to examine this strange building.
Alright, so we examined it apparently. We'll keep going. Poor Blue. Oh, this poor doggy. Hudson said, Difficult to see or hear in a storm like that, but I was awake and alert, studying the week's forecast. Should even out shortly, I'd say.
Museum staff, did you talk to them?
Yes, we had a short conversation. The woman heard my radio crackling from my cabin and asked about it. The old man was a bit disoriented.
Let's see. What does she want to know about your radio?
She thought she recognized the model, just from the noise it was making. I didn't even know the model myself. She told me many old radios from that period had badly designed tuning circuits that caused a kind of resonant feedback in certain spots in the dial. Easy to pick out if you had the ear for it. Smart young woman. I always love to chat with an artisan. Well, they had to leave, looking for a doctor. I think the old man was having a bad time. It was a short conversation.
Alright, so we're still searching. This is the greenhouse, it's gotta be. Flora was playing on the lower level, and we had been having a glass of wine in the greenhouse. We ducked out of the way he came in. After all, they were complete strangers.
George says, we didn't know them.
Let's see, did you overhear them talking, says the museum staff? Well, I heard the young woman ask her friend about his job. Some kind of furniture collector or dealer, I think. It didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe they were looking for a buyer?
Yes, definitely some kind of furniture collector or dealer. I heard him talking about antiques.
So, apparently,
Urza. Oh, there's that Urza person that they were talking about. I saw your folks drive up. I like your truck. What kind of truck is that?
let's see. Choices. Conway can say, it doesn't belong to me, I just drive it. We got a couple of them out of the shop, but this one's the only one that runs. Or, do you know where Dr. Truman is? Let's see. I'm going to talk to, say, Conway first.
Oh, yeah, the truck you've got. With a truck, you got to keep it up. That's why me and Julian don't use a truck. We just carry the houses.
I know, Lightning. Conway, that says, that sounds very impressive. Who's Julian? Where do you take the houses? They clearly come here.
Yeah, it's a big job. Me and Julian take them out from the forest to the forest every night, and then we bring them back at dawn just before the museum opens. I'm sorry, what?
Why do you take them out into the forest, says Conway, on my behalf, because I'm confused.
This is the museum. It's an okay place to live in the daytime, but it's no good at night. People just can't sleep in a place like this, or when they do it, it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep, and then we bring them back in the morning.
Uh-huh. And Dr. Truman is in the forest already?
Yes, ma'am. He's out in the forest. Me and Julian took him out there a few nights ago, and he didn't want to come back. He lives there all the time now.
Can you tell us how to get there?
No, you have to follow the Green River way out east, and then hop over to Lake Cumberland. The roads don't go there. But me and Julian can take you. We're just about to go anyway. I just gotta call him over.
So he yells "cook cook 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 yeah," and I imagine that there's a particular way of doing it. And I imagine, Pedro, you absolutely want me to try making this noise that I'm looking at. So here we go. Cook 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 yeah, or hiya, or whatever it is. Probably hiya.
Cuckoo! Cuckoo! Yeah!
And then the bird comes. And snatches us up in its talons. Was that sufficient there? Ooh, we see the museum from here. From this height, the museum looks like a blocky crater slowly filling with rain. What a beautiful big bird made of stick lines. So now this is the Green River. That will be an awesome sound alert. I'll see if I can record it and make it one. I know I can. I just have to take the time out to do it. Here's the green. What am I doing? Hold on. Field notes. You have to follow the Green River way out east, then hop over Lake Cumberland. Okay. So, I'm assuming this is it. There's the Green River. A country church with pitched roof and a 3-story spire. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Behind the church are several dusty metal trash cans, few of which have been opened. I'm not actually sure this is east, by the way. The flayed hull of a country home smolders in the night. Parts of the property are obscured by smoke. Alright, I assume this is the Green River. Way out east. I'm also assuming this is east. I don't see any compass whatsoever. There's a chapel out here. A chapel in the graveyard disconnected from any road in the middle of a dark woods. Occasionally it seems that pale glowing figures, difficult to track with the eye, appear. Sometimes they roll huge barrels in or out of the building. Sometimes they loiter for a minute, just out of view. At least I think you do not go jump scary with the sound effect. Down to the left? Okay. Oh! So remember, I will give this warning. My screen is too big. I just need to find the river again. Hold on. Alright, we found the Green River again. Alright, here we go. This way. This would have been a very long stream of me just being lost. What is that? What is a small figure? A tiny gray figure walks alongside of the road, carrying what appears to be a guitar case. He is followed by a smaller shape. A dog? He suddenly winks out of view, perhaps into the woods? Elkhorn Mine. Oh, that's where we were before. From above, the huge swaying tipple looks like a small wooden lattice framing the edge of the mine's entrance. Alright, I guess we're still going this way. There's the lake. A shadowy figure drags itself out of the lake, stuffs its limbs into a smart blue suit, and treads slackly out of view.
we're still going easterly, it looks like. I could be mistaken, though. Way out east, then hop over Lake Cumberland. Alright, I've gone too far, apparently. Oh, here's Lake Cumberland. Okay. Forest. Got it. Thank you, Pedro. I would have totally mucked that up 100%. Be like, ooh, lost. Act 2, Scene 6. A forest. Cicadas and nocturnal birds sing. Okay, I imagine this is Dr. What's his name? Ben sings My Long Journey Home. Okay, go Ben. Shannon says, it's okay, take it easy.
Black smoke's arising and it surely is a train. Surely is a train, boys, surely is a train. Black smoke's arising and it surely is a train. I'm on my long journey home.
Conway says, choice one, we gotta get back on the road or I'll just close my eyes. Let's close his eyes real quick. I don't think it's a good idea. Just take some strain off of your leg for a minute, then we'll keep going. Why is this delivery so important to you? Conway says, choice one, it's my job, it's my last delivery, or I don't know. I don't know if it's my last delivery. Oh, you retiring or something? Or, sorry. Lisette's closing up shop, or I'm just not as tough as I used to be. Lisette's closing up shop. Oh, that's, well, darn. Urza says, choices. Let's see, my choices are, what do you like to do? Chase rabbits? Just lay around? Well, I bet you were pretty wild when you were younger, or Julian too, he sleeps all day. So Urza says to the dog, what do you like to do, Blue? Just sit around? Julian too, he sleeps all day. Alright, let's see. Alright, here. So actually we find the hut in the forest, I guess? Come on, Blue.
Stuck and raining and I've got to go home. Got to go home, boys. Got to go home. Stuck and raining and I've got to go home. I'm on my long journey home.
Alright, and let's see. I guess we're listening to little vignettes of them. Shannon says, shouldn't be much farther now. I think I see the settlement ends over there. Conway can say, these are some fine-looking trees. The forest is full of shadows, or these woods go on forever. Let's be positive. Conway says, these are some fine-looking trees.
Yeah, really nice. You a tree enthusiast? Let's see. I like birds. Birds like trees. Okay, I can follow that logic. You're in a lot of pain, aren't you? Conway says, I'm just thinking about getting back to work, or I just need to rest. Probably says, I just need to rest. We're almost there. Dr. Truman will have a nice couch or something you can rest on, and some medicine or something. I don't know. We'll talk to Blue again. Let's see. Have you ever been over to the lake? Let's see. I went there once with my folks. We had some burgers. Pretty great. All right, Blue. Let's keep watching, see what happens when we walk through this forest.
Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home.
Alright, so we made it over here to this part. Looks like he's resting. Do you have family you're close with? A brother, sister, kids? Let's see. I have a brother, but I wouldn't say we're close, says Conway. So what does he do? Let's see. Some kind of banker, jerk sometimes. 2, he's about my age and retired. I don't know, just another drifter. I don't know, I think maybe a banker. He's some kind of banker, jerk sometimes. Yeah, I know the type. You never talk to him? Let's see. Nah, I burned that bridge pretty bad. Who knows? I guess I was always closest with Weaver. As close as someone can be with a girl like that. She's always on her own wavelength, but we were the same age growing up, and everyone else was so busy. When she disappeared, I got pretty angry. I guess I just stayed that way. I never really understood her, but I knew her. It's lonely without someone like that around. I'm sorry, You're a good listener. We talked to Blue again. Let's see. I bet you come from a big family of dogs. Let's see. Well, I have a pretty good-sized family too, I guess, but right now all I need is Julian. Alright, let's walk through the forest and see if we actually do find this doctor at some point. The forest lasts forever. Keep walking forward. Come on, Blue. We're almost somewhere. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Shannon says he's inside with Dr. Truman. Are you coming in? Or where have you been? We lost sight of you for a minute. He's inside with Dr. Truman. Are you coming in? Urge says, sure, I'll come in. Dr. Truman lets me watch TV sometimes. My folks never watch TV, but I like the way it looks. Shannon says, I like the way it looks too. I fix TVs, you know. Whoa, cool, a TV scientist. I bet you like a lot of money. My folks had a really nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time. Then the bank took it. We had to sleep at the bus station, but I could never get to sleep, so I just went out to fly around every night with Julian. And we flew really far, and we never got lost. But when we came back in the morning, they were all gone. They just left you? My first question. I don't think so. All our stuff was still there. Maybe they got lost somewhere. Let's go see what's on TV.
All right, we made it to the doctor's house. Wind in the trees rustle. Dr. Truman says, and yeah, I think during that exit interview is when I realized how badly they had me. How else can you pay for medical school? I have college friends with debts that you can't expect to pay back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something, you know? Or it's some kind of administrative thing. I don't know. Having seen what arthritis did to my grandmother and my best friend in high school destroys wrist building synthesizers, I mean, he was like 17. Ailments of the joints and limbs just seem important to me. I hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship with that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached, but at least I have somewhere to practice, even if I have to follow their market trends a little bit. And hey, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on the medical uses of neuropenol TM. It's not all bad. So, how about that leg? How did it happen exactly? Let's see. It was too dark to tell, really. It was like something grabbed my leg in the dark, or my leg was crushed by falling rocks. I think it was falling rocks. Let's try that. Ah, crushing industry. Yeah, those can be pretty bad. Everything gets compressed in there and all the little pieces to... You know what? Never mind. Let's take a look at how bad it could be, alright? Alright, so we finally got him through there. I thought he was going to die on the way over there. Goodness. The Bed Quilt Ramblers play My Long Journey Home on TV. What are they singing about? Shannon can say they're singing about travel. They're singing about going home. Or they're singing about hard times. It's about hard times. Yeah, everybody has it pretty rough right now. Even if you just want to go home, you'll have problems. Like it'll be too dark and you'll get scared. Crushing industrial. Yeah, I know, right, Pedro? Choices. It's hard sometimes, but things have a way of working out. Or maybe you can just stay lost in the dark. Maybe you'll be okay with that eventually. I refuse. It's hard sometimes, but things have a way of working out. Yeah, Dr. Truman's going to help your friend. He'll be okay. But it's nothing we can't handle, says Dr. Truman. You might have a few things to look out for in the future. Be a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk, but you'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So the anesthetic we'll use is called neuropenol TM. It's pretty experimental, but it's more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process, and then we'll just have a normal conversation as the neuropenol TM takes effect. Then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's talk about billing for a moment. The pharmaceutical company I'm contracted with recently acquired an internship company that has some different standards for billing and revenue. So it's a bit complex now. And we fade away into the darkness, as you do when going under surgery. And dark. End of Act 2. Okay. So we've completed Act 2. And we have 3, 4, 5, and then 5's other portion for it. So, what I'm going to do now is rest. We will pick this up on Friday, finish it out, and get through that. But yeah, I'm at the 3 mark. I'm so tired. But this was weird. So we realized first off how to play the game, just like you said, Luciana. Or sorry, Pedra. And then we figured out how much more we have to do. We have 4 more parts to this, and they seem to get bonkers by the second. a lot of overlap that is. I said last time that this felt like theater of the mind, where very much like it's kind of like an intro. It makes the audience that receives it as an introspective viewer to a situation or situations of vignettes. I would also partially add that this might be also a lot of a theater of the absurd, where inside your introspection you have a lot of stories that pull into surreal a surreal situation. Like we just had that road trip that we found all the stuff in and whatnot. A lot of surreal mobility. And I am enjoying it. Although I have no idea exactly what the ending position will be at. Maybe it'll be just as absurd as the beginning, or maybe we'll actually get an answer. Who knows? We're still looking. But Friday we'll definitely finish this out. So I will, let's see. Unless anyone has, what's it called? Anyone has a day one that they want to stream into, I will pick one. I'll give 30 seconds for it. Thank you all very much for joining. I appreciate it. Joining me on this absurd and interesting introspection that is all of this. Let me see what we have here. I have a couple. Yeah, it's all linked 100%. Like all of them are here, but it's not as clear cut as to why they're linked. That's really cool. Yeah, I was going to say that's who I was thinking of going to if no one else, if you didn't have anyone else to go to. If not, no chance that we're going to. I haven't rated them in a while. So let's do that. All right, so let me put this here. Read Noi-chan 13. All right, I look forward to seeing you all on Friday for the end of the stream. As always, stay safe, everyone, and yeah, I hope you're having a safe week and preparing for the new year. Take care, and I'll see you then.